Hey guys, Scott here again with a new beer video for you. This one's going to be a little bit, I've done videos like this before in the past about, just kind of your experiences with, maximize your experience at a craft brewery. I sometimes get inspired reading some of the comments on the other videos, and that's kind of led to this video today, kind of about tips if you were kind of branching out into trying to expand your beer repertoire. I know some of you are more wine drinkers or spirits and things like that. So kind of inspired me to put together a reasonably, I always say short video, and it goes a little bit longer than I expect, but video. So we're not going to be doing a tasting today, or my what is videos, what is a blank beer style, or my dissection videos of beer, but just kind of things for those of you who are saying, hey, you know what, I get a little, not that anyone said this specifically to me, but I kind of read between the lines a little bit, like, hey, I go to my beer store, I'm looking to try something different, but it gets expensive because I don't want to just throw money out the window on beers I'm not going to like. And so this is kind of like tips to branch out and maybe expand your horizons a little bit on how I would maybe go about doing it. Some of you are a little more experienced. You may still pick up something in this video. But for those of you who are, I'll give you an example. If you're, Bud Light drinker, or you're drinking White Claws all the time, and you're like, yeah, I want to try something, but I don't even know how to purchase it. I'll try to maybe throw a few tips on how to navigate it, and even just enjoy the beer a little bit better at home once you bring it home. Things you can do to try to, enjoy it after you've purchased it. So the first thing, and I'm gonna have a few things probably pop up over my shoulder here when I'm editing this, but I mentioned this with the microbrewery video, is to maybe get that BJCP app on the phone. I'll try to put a couple of pictures up. That's the Brewing Judge Certification Program app that you can put on your phone. Not that I'm expecting you all to be BJCP judges, but it's that app that will have the styles on the beer. So like you can quickly access it. Like what is a Belgian dark strong? What's a Belgian golden strong? What's a Saison? What's a, some of them are obvious, like American lagers and things like that, or certain IPAs. But just a quick thumb reference tool just to kind of see. Because usually on that app, you plug in, you start typing in the style of beer, it immediately propagates and you kind of tap on it. And it'll give you the first things, a short little paragraph about just generally what the beer is about. And that may be all you need. By all means, if you want to read the entire, aroma profile of the beer, that's fine, and some of the statistics on it. But sometimes you just need to see that first paragraph. It'll give you a little bit of guidance on what type of beer it is inside that bottle. You're in the store, but when you put up the light, is it a light beer? Is it a dark beer? I don't know much about it. So when you're in there and you see like the Belgian section, or you see the German section, or you're just not sure, and also on that app, it'll give you certain, examples of the style of the beer, like specific brand names. It won't cover all the brand names, but, you see something on the label that says, a Belgian double or a triple. Like, what am I expecting? An English, porter versus an American porter, or Hefeweizen, I think it's a good app to have. So I'll try to have some pictures to navigate that. The other thing is, if you're going to your beer store, try to, if you're trying to branch out and try different things, always go in there to buy something different that you never had before. So go in there, and if you like Bud Light or Coors, that's, again, there's a reason why they still own the lion's share of the market share of beer is Miller, Coors, Budweiser. Go in there, buy that beer, but then always pick up whether it's one can, like I live on Long Island, for those of you who don't know me well, and a lot of our beer stores will allow you to buy, like from some of these microbreweries, they'll sell one can, and you can do a mix match cans, grab a few cans and put 4 together, or buy a 4-pack, and especially when there's 16-ounce cans, a lot of times they'll let you buy one. Just buy something new each time you go in there, even if it's just one can, or you buy 4 different ones. So you can kind of taste different styles. You can, grab a Pilsner from the West Coast from a microbrewery, but grab a whatever, an IPA from Illinois, from a brewery. Like, just try different styles. Um, you know, if you're a light beer drinker, okay, like a typical Bud Light, Coors Light, things you may want to look at if you're in the Belgian section. Again, I'll try to have these jump up over my shoulder when I post this, but if you're in the Belgian section, Delirium Tremens, which is a Belgian Golden Strong. It kind of looks like your Pilsner beers or your Bud Lights, but it's a lot more higher in alcoholic strength. And I haven't done a video specifically on that style yet, but or a Duvel, Duvel. They're lighter beers. They're lighter beers in the sense that they're not like really rich with dark malt profiles. But they are higher alcoholic strength, so you have to be careful with them. If you look in the German section, look under, Weihenstephaner, which begins with a W, even though it sounds like I used a V. Styles called Munich Helles. Helles means light in German. Of course, Pilsner, German Pilsner. So Hofbrauhaus. Look for a Saison DuPont. That's a Saison. Again, I haven't done videos on all these styles yet, or you can always message me, or if you know me personally, text me. I can kind of give you some guidance. But the ones I just mentioned, the Munich Helles, Weihenstephaner Original, or Hofbrauhaus Original, those are Munich Helles. Helles, again, means light. Maybe try those first. Like I said before, Delirium Tremens, it's a light style beer as far as color, so you're not going to get blown away with deep, heavy malts. So maybe a nice little gateway to trying Belgian style beers, and you'd be probably pleasantly surprised. Saison DuPont, Saison means seasonal. It was a seasonal beer given to their workers in the Wallonia region of Belgium. You may like that. If you're more into darker styles, or you want to branch into that, if you're in the Belgian section, try something like a Belgian double. Or in the German section, a Munich Dunkel. Dunkel means dark. It's a little bit darker. It's going to be a little bit more of a darker profile. You can try that out. Or a Doppelbock, okay? Polaner, Salvatore is the classic style, and I'm going to do a whole video on that. The history is very interesting on Doppelbock. A lot of things with Ator, like the suffix Ator, A-T-O-R. So Spaten Optimator, Augustiner Optimator. No, I'm sorry, Maximator. I just misspoke there, Maximator. There's Troegs Brewery, I think in the west. They have the Troganator. Those are Doppelbocks. They're going to be a little darker, Maillard reaction type of things. And I've talked a little bit about it in my other videos, even though I haven't done one specifically on there. But I am going to do a Doppelbock video. Try that out. Barley wines, maybe look at if you're more into darker style beers. Try, if you've never had them before. Sierra Nevada's Bigfoot is classic barley wine. Anchor Old Foghorn, okay. Old Crustacean, I forget which brewery does that one. Try a barley wine. Those are real sipping this time of the year in December, sit by the fire type of beer. Other Belgian styles that are a little more on the darker side, that you want a little bit more malt forward beers. The Chimay with the blue cap, which is similar to my Westvleteren 12, a Belgian dark strong. If you want the Chimay red cap, is more of a double. It's a little less alcoholic strength, more 6 to 7.5%. The blue cap is roughly 8 to 12%, and I think it's roughly around 10%. Rochefort, which is another Belgian Trappist beer, the 8 or the 10, you'll see a number on there, 8 or 10. That's their Belgian dark strong. Their 6 is a double, which is a little less alcoholic strength. So again, I'm just throwing out beers, and I'm going to have a lot of these pop up over my shoulder when I edit this, so you know what they look like. So if you're in that store and you're like, yeah, I want to try some of these beers Scott's been talking about, but I don't really know much about it, maybe try some of those. So like, again, staying more German, the Munich Dunkel, Doppelbock, things like that you could try out. When you get home, have proper glassware. You've seen me use some of my, glasses. And, if you say, Scott, the hell with you, I'm just going to use, my shaker pints, that's fine. Get some tulip glasses. Get a Willie Becker glass. And again, I'm going to have some of these pictures pop up. A tulip pint glass, something that like is a little bit more, I don't want to say sexy for beer, but just something that just promotes the beer and so you can appreciate some of the aromatics that are coming off of this beer. You should try to, when you bring these beers home, try to keep them about, in the refrigerator, at 38, 40 degrees, but don't serve them, have them served maybe closer to, maybe if it's a lighter style beer, a little closer to 44, 45 degrees, and let it warm up in the glass. And some of them that are really dark and have a higher alcoholic strength, you may want to get them to warm up over 50, 52, 55 degrees, depending on the style. But, it's easier to warm them up and let them sit there in front of you, holding it in your hand, to warm the beer up a little bit. But, so maybe anywhere from that 46 to 55 degree range. Other things to try to get yourself branching out into other beers. Support your local microbrewery, Nano Brewery, Farm Brewery. Get to taste fresh malt at some of these places. I've said in one of my other videos, get a flight of beer. Maybe share a flight with a partner or whatever it may be, or a friend. So they get flights of 4 beers. And, a shout out to Moriches Field Brewery, which again, right down the road from me. What's great about them is that they got a million different styles of beer. So even if they don't care about brewing the style of beer, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. That's up to them. But they got a million beers on their board. You can go in there probably every day on the weekend and have a different style there. And grab a crowler or grab a growler. West Hampton Brewery does the same thing. They have growlers and they do canning there. So try different styles on what you want to do that, and branch out and talk to the bartender and the server or the brewer there, and have them talk to you about the different hops and styles like that. But that's a good way of supporting local breweries, but also trying different styles of beer too and seeing what you like. Again, this video is mainly for those of you who are kind of pigeonholed into one particular style of beer, but you like to try different things, but you're not really sure how to do it. So again, flights, and when you bring the beer home, like you see some of my videos, if you're new to my channel here, look at some of the videos and, pour into that glass. Don't fill the entire glass up to the top. Fill it about halfway up, maybe a third of the way. Take a look at it, the clarity, the color, the head. I'm not going to go into beer clean glasses and things like that. That would be for another video to evaluate. Smell the beer. What do you smell? What does it smell like to other styles of beer? Some of you are like, I don't give a crap. I'm just going to drink the beer, and that's fine also. But if you really want to, experience the beer a little differently than you have in the past, again, when I was in college, like many of you, we were just drinking whatever, the Beast, Milwaukee's Best or whatever. We were just drinking for consumption and volume. As we get more refined tastes, like some of you have with wine or spirits, you want to appreciate it a little bit differently. So you want to take a look at the color. You want to take a look at the head. Smell the beer. Does it smell like fruit? Does it smell piney, resiny? Does it smell like something at home, like, your toast or, bread, your challah bread, like what does it taste like? Taste it, same thing. Does it taste like certain things you eat at home? Like the bread or the, something, like fruit or things like that. You want to get into it. And then try it at different temperatures, when you're taking the beers ice cold, coming out of the refrigerator, does it taste differently in the beginning to the end? So these little tidbits between buying things and, you don't have to buy a 24 pack of beer and bring it home. 1 beer to 4 beers. A lot of times they're putting the cans in 4 packs. Share them with friends. Maybe do an exchange with a friend that wants to try the beer too. Pair it with different foods. Does it go well with foods? Take the food, swallow the beer. Does it complement it, or is it just doesn't taste good? So just little things you do differently with beer to maybe appreciate beer a little bit differently. With the temperature, what I meant to say was, when the beer is at, 46, 48 degrees, as it's warming in your glass up to say 55, 57 degrees, and I don't expect you to have a thermometer sitting there, but you know when it's getting warmer. You know, are you getting more of the malt? You know, if it's too cold, sometimes you're not getting the same aromatics and the same flavor. So try to do that. You may notice a whole new appreciation for beer, you know, other than just consuming it or playing beer pong at, you know, your local, you know, tailgate at your college football game. So again, hopefully, and then also even aftertaste, you know, like what are you getting? Is it creamy? What's the carbonation level? And, you know, notice those types of things. So again, just some tips if you want to kind of branch out a little bit into it. The BJCP app, try different styles, and then, you know, just broaden your horizons a little bit. But you know, still buy the stuff you always enjoy drinking, the White Claw, the Bud Light, whatever. You have that too. But, you know, just slowly but surely, you may be like, hey, I kind of like that style. I'd love to do tastings with everyone here and pull out barley wines and things like that. If I was getting around a little bit better, I probably would have even more styles on videos that we have here. All right, guys, so hopefully that's helpful. If you do happen to do that and you know, you do get introduced into things, I'd love to hear about it or message me that, hey, you know, I took your advice. I picked up this beer I never even had before. I'm like, I can't believe I liked it. I don't like to mention names too much on YouTube, but one of you were at one of those beer places that you can just kind of stick, I guess, a card in and then draw beer, and you got experience into some Belgian beers at those places. I think they do with wine also. You can kind of just put your glass under there, use a card, and get beers distributed into the glass. So anyway, guys, hopefully that was helpful. Until my next video, this kind of a little bit of a different genre of my, away from my beer dissection videos as well as my what is videos, but I have plenty of those in store for you too. All right, have a great day, guys. Take care.